Awesome. Hi, everyone. I think for majority of you, it's quite late in the evening, right? I think around 10 p.m. right now.
Exactly.
So I really appreciate you spending your time or your evening with me. I will try to show you something I hope useful, but I have to be honest, I have this little feeling that you might be much more advanced than I am. So just let me know. I hope it will be interesting. Maybe I'll show you something more. It should be fun. Without further ado, let me share my screen and let's start. Just a second. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it is visible.
Awesome. Super. Uh, okay. So about me. My name is Tomek Porozynski. From Poland, from Europe, from a city called Bydgoszcz. As you already know, I'm GT for AI and cloud. I'm also a machine learning engineer in a company called DeepSense AI. There is a chance you might not heard about it because it's uh, Poland-based and a bit of US-based and fairly small right now, a bit more than 100 people. We'll see what will happen in upcoming years. um, as I mentioned, Bydgoszcz, Poland. And yeah, that's about me. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, please feel free. If you've got any questions or follow-ups, something that we will not cover today, feel free to connect with me and I will try to do my best to reply as soon as possible. I might have a couple of days delay, but I will try to address any questions there is. Uh, Regarding the image you can see on the right side, that's something small I was working on. It's actually done with Nano Banana. I think even the first version Nano Banana before Nano Banana Pro came, before Nano Banana 2 came. So the complete first version. All right. I think that's enough about me. I have so many slides for you today that you will be surprised because I think in total there are 4 slides and we are halfway there. What I'm planning to do today, and I hope that's something you might appreciate, I want to show you more or less real life examples. So I don't want to show you a lot of slides. I want to actually jump to Google AI Studio in a minute and start trying to create different things. So if you are familiar with Google AI Studio, maybe part of the session will be known for you, right? But if you don't use that tool that often or you haven't used it in a long time, hopefully I will show you something interesting. So about Google AI Studio, there's a link you can just scan QR or whatever. There are a couple of different links. There's this AI.dev, but there's also this AI.studio, and of course aistudio.google.com. But that's the first link I want to show you today, and the second link I want to show you today is to Google Colab. Now, because you guys are a TensorFlow group, I'm pretty sure you are familiar with Google Colab, but I want to show you how those two work together quite nicely. And surprise, surprise, that's the end of my presentation. So here's like thank you questions, right? So have a good night and stuff. But before you actually disconnect from that call, let me jump to actual content that I want to show you today. Give me a small second. Yeah. All right, let me exit that. So as I mentioned, you can go to ai.dev, you can go to ai.studio, and all those links actually provide you to aistudio.google.com. Now, when you join or log into the portal for the first time, you need to have Google account. So usually it can be a normal Gmail account, but it doesn't need to be Gmail, right? So for instance, here I'm logged in as my personal domain from storagefreak.net. So it doesn't have to be Gmail account, can be any type of Google account, right? As long as a best practice, it's not your employee's account. And the main reason behind that, I guess there are 2 reasons. One, it might be against your employer's policy to use this tool. And the second reason is that with Google AI Studio, in most cases or some of the actions you're performing, you need to have an integration with Google Drive, because part of prompt or outputs or inputs actually are stored on Google Drive. So sometimes with the professional account, Google Drive might not be really available, etc., etc. So better to use your private account. Now, before we actually go to building the prompt, let me quickly show you what we can see here. I will increase the font a little bit so it's easier for you to see. It makes look everything a bit a bit more ugly because original look looks like that, but just for the sake for you to better see what's going on here. So at the start, you've got this prompt, which is actually Google AI Studio is changing a lot. So you can definitely see that Google is investing in that portal a lot of efforts. I'm just looking. Oh, we're gonna have some credits for people. That's awesome. That's awesome. You wanna talk about it, or everyone knows what to do?
I think everyone knows.
Awesome. Okay. So those credits might get useful later when we will try, or when I show you how to deploy stuff to Cloud Run, for instance, or actually how to use the APIs that are not free. So long story short, here you can go straight to build, chat, key, shortcut, stuff like that, right? It's nice, like single point of touch. I'm not that keen on using that just yet. I guess I'm a little bit of old school. On the left-hand side, you've got Playground, build, dashboard, and documentation. Documentation is just a link to documentation. It will open the new screen. Useful, but just a link to documentation. And it's actually linked to documentation of Gemini API, right? So Google AI Studio is using, or it's kind of like an abstract layer or maybe graphical interface on top of Gemini API. So for Gemini models, you can either connect via Gemini API or via Vertex AI API. Today, we are focused on Gemini API. In theory, those two are two different gateways to access the same. In practice, it's not really true because some models are available via Gemini API, which are not available via Vertex AI. Some models sometimes have vice versa. So it is a little bit, I don't want to say messy because I think we are recording this session. So instead of saying messy, I would say it's quite interesting depending on what you want to achieve. Sometimes Vertex AI is your way to go. Sometimes Gemini API is your way to go. Or sometimes it doesn't really matter because that particular model you want to use is available on this API access and the other one as well. All right, so anyways, that's documentation. Dashboard is quite interesting because in dashboard you can see API keys, and as you can see, I've got a bunch of API keys, probably too many of them over here, where you also have the projects. So right now I have 2 projects imported to my Google AI Studio, and those are Google Cloud projects. So I hope you are familiar more or less with Google Cloud, but if we go to the Google Cloud console, you can see I got those projects here, right? So a bit more than imported to Google AI Studio, but I've got those projects over there. All right, so that's dashboard. Dashboard is nice because here you can generate easily an API key. You can add new projects and create new projects and import existing projects, which is important. You can check your usage, you can check your rate limit spends, logs and data sets, and change log is also new tab because it actually says what's changing within Gemini API and Google AI Studio. So that's dashboard. Then we've got Playground, and Playground might be a bit more of an interest to you, I think, because with Playground, you've got access to many different AI models out of the box. And when you look, let me show you what I did. So that's Playground. I'm going to the right-hand side, and here it says Nano Banana for me because of the last model I was using. It might say something different for you. But pretty much when I click on that, I have an option to change it to different models, right? A lot of different models. And some of them are new, right? And some of them aren't new, but the more important thing is if it says something is paid or not. You can see it over here, right? This one, for example, Nano Banana 2 is paid, and Nano Banana, for instance, Pro is also paid, but nano banana normal doesn't have the spade indication, right? What it means that on Google AI Studio, there's a free tier of those models that you can use completely for free without providing any billing whatsoever. So in instance, right now I've got Nano Banana selected. I can either ask to generate a picture. So let's say generate a picture of, I don't know, a baby European bison sitting in front of laptop, right? Something like that. So let's try to do something crazy. And hopefully the picture will, yeah, and we've got a picture of a couple of seconds, right? There's a more or less European bison with two bisons outside sitting in front of laptop, and surprise, surprise, he's looking at bison in the meadow, right? So anyways, we've got the nice picture. Now, what if you want to, oh, of course, with this chat option, you can ask to have a follow-up questions and even ask to modify this picture, right? So even here I can say, change the graphic style to more Pixar like 3D animation style, right? And send it like that. And hopefully within a minute or two, we should see this picture being changed to more of a, Pixar style. So let's see if that will happen. Is there a big difference? Honestly, I'm not sure if I see a big difference. But again, you can click like this one, or you run this turn and try to see another how to say that? Another generation, right? Another version of that. What's nice about Playground is that over here you've got button get code, and if you press the button, you actually get some kind of code, right? So what's nice is there's even a button to open in Colab, but let's do that manually. So what's nice is you can actually copy the code. So let me just select it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I got lost. I think they changed it to the over here. So yeah, they changed the URL, the graphic interface again. So let's copy the code. So as you can see, I'm so pro that I couldn't find the button that says copy on top of it. So yeah, Friday evening, right? Friday evening. You can copy the code. You can go to Colab, so collab.google, right? Hopefully it will work. You can open Colab. Oh, wait, there's a new landing page. Nice. Let's say a new notebook. You can paste that command that we just copied, right? And you can run it, and unfortunately it will fail just like that. But let's see what we just ran. So first of all, we run the file that is saving the binary file, and there's a generate, and here is the Gemini API key, and here is the insert input key here. Yeah. So it is like the template of the code that should potentially work, right? So this one fails because we didn't specify the API key, right? First of all, let's fix the input stuff so we actually know what we want to do. So maybe over here we can put something like image to generate, or maybe prompt is input of what do you want from me again, right? And then we can send this prompt over here, generate. Then we have to make sure that it actually accepts prompts. So let's say prompt over here. And then we don't want to paste this text, but we want to paste prompt over here, right? So that should be fine. Now there's one more, I click save, it doesn't matter. There's one more issue, this Gemini API key. So the easiest way for you is actually go to your Google AI Studio, go to get API key, create a key, give it some kind of name, let's say Friday night, since it's Friday night, right? Select against which project it's being generated. Let's say this one is okay. Click generate key. And hopefully it will not be displayed on the scroll. So thankfully it's not. But you can see maybe where is it? Friday night, this one. That's the one we just generated, right? So I will copy the value of the key. So I got the copy of the value of the key. And of course I can paste it over here and you guys can see it and be happy that you see my key. But I will try to be smart about it. In Google Colab, I will actually go over here for secrets. Right, I already have a couple of different secrets, but I will add a new one and I will call that Friday night, or maybe Friday night. Now, you know what? I'm not sure. Yeah, that I was afraid of. If I paste it over here, you will see what I'm pasting. But that's fine. You're not going to see full of it. You're just going to see part of it. So that should be fine. Let me hit it. Let's see if it's actually more than for, you know what? Let me let me make sure what's in my yeah, that should be fine. Maybe let's try it again. TTT. Yeah, that should be full code. Okay, so we got our API key. I will give access to the API key to that notebook I just created over here. The name of the secret is Friday night. So here is a nice command that tells me how to get that code to my notebook. So let me copy that. I'll put it over here. It was called Friday night, right? And let's say that's super. I'm lacking the English word here. Super secret key, right? Let's call it like that. So here I want to pass the key over here. So I'm pasting API key is super secret key. And now if I didn't break anything, and hopefully I didn't, it should work. Let's see. Play. And then ask me what do you want from me again, right? That's the prompt I just created. And let's say a bunch of happy bisons. I'm working on a project related to European bison. That's why bisons are on my head. On the meadow. Let's see. And this is going. Let's see. It will generate an image. It did. And it is saved to the beautiful name called enter file name _0 png. So let's actually see if that's over there. So let me add more commands. To see the image, we can go with something that Colab gives us out of the box. So we can import image. And once this is imported, then we can say, I think image open should work just like that. Let's see. Image open and the image that was generated. Let's see if that will work. Yeah, that works, but this is string, right? So we have to put that in as a string. Yeah, nice. And we've got a bunch of happy bisons, right? So you can obviously work it further and further along the way and generate, your work on your complicated application this way with only the snippet you got from Playground, right? So with Playground, you've got definitely more models. So for instance, you've got some of the paid ones, like let's say Nano Banana 2, right? And to use the paid model, if you try to put it over here and just execute something, it will tell you cannot because you have to attach the API key. So you see I got an error over here, right? But that's easy way to do that. Once your API key is already provided, you can click this button, link API key. It asks you which project, which API key. You can see a couple of letters from API key. Set up billing. The billing is set up, so I don't have to set it up. Link the key. Click link, and suddenly the key is already linked, right? So you can run command and it should work. Obviously, I ask surprise me for Nano Banana 2, so I have no idea what it will generate. But right now, I'm using the paid model using my API key, right? So I will be billed for that generation a couple of cents, but still it will cost me a little bit. Now, Nano Banana 2 Yeah.
Question.
Yeah, sure.
One question. So, from where the template file you have taken, can you just show it once again?
Mm-hmm.
You have updated the code in the collaborate. Can you show from where the template file you have taken this entire
Oh,
file?
this template. How did I?
Yes.
Yeah. So for instance, over here, I went over here to get code,
Ah,
right? The button on the top right, and it is pre-selected with Python. You've got different languages, including REST API call, right? So even if you want to go for a language that is not supported over here, you can go for REST API call. And I copied that code, right?
yeah.
Now, yeah.
I saw.
So yeah. So that's it. Does it answer your question?
Yes, yes. That answers my question. I missed the point where that get code was there, right? I missed that.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So
that-
over here we've got this surprise image, right? This is the best surprise. I have no idea. I have no idea who Sarah is, but it's there, right? So you can obviously over here go for different models like Featured Gemini Live, and I'm working right now on an interesting project for Flash Live. Definitely try to play with that. It's lots of fun, in my opinion. Images, videos, and audio. Then now take a very cautious approach when it goes to those video generations, because get those can be quite expensive. So if you go a little bit crazy with those videos generations and try to generate a couple of different videos, you can be surprised how much it will cost you, right? So for the video generations, just be mindful of the prices before you go crazy and crazy, because it's very easy to get hooked, generate one image, I mean video, another, and suddenly you are $20 in debt, or $50 or whatever. Anyways, that's the playground. So that's still the introduction of today's session. Today's session is about building the app from the prompt, and for that we've got the section build. So let me go for build, and over here a couple of things. You've got the prompt to describe what you want to have, but this button is quite useful because this button tells you which model you want to choose, and you've got a couple of them. And actually, I never used this flashlight with generating applications yet. So I think live demo is always the best for running experiments, right? I think you all agree with me. So let me go for this Gemini 3.1 flashlight preview, the new one. Let's leave the framework as it is. Let's leave the system instructions as it is. Everything clicks. Everything is fine. And let's describe the app we want to create. So anyone has any simple idea for a simple app? Okay, let me then try to describe something like the simple to do app that keeps everything in the memory. It should be in the theme of, let's think what the theme can be. Oh, I'm from Poland, right? So maybe let's try to do it something to Poland, Poland theme, like Polish. But Polish what? Polish countryside style. What else? What else? The app should be called awesome demo to do, right? Let's say like that. And we can click build, and a couple of things will happen over here. So recently, Google AI Studio moved those builds to anti-gravity engine. So I can, in theory, and we can test it out, close the browser, because this build is no longer running on my browser. It's running somewhere outside. And as you can see over here, the apps, the files are being created, right? Over here, you can see the files are appearing, right? And even if I go for code, I think I can already review some of those files. Maybe those, oh yeah, the metadata JSON already exists. It's kind of empty. The app TS6 is being created. Index is still kind of empty, but you can already see the files. Now, I'm fairly certain, and let's run the demo again, because why not, that I can close it up, right? Open again, go for my apps, because that's the app I'm running. And I think this untitled is the one that is running. And if I go here back, I should see this is still running, right, for 70 seconds, because it's running outside of my laptop. So you can actually schedule something to be built, go away, and the build will continue. So we've got our app. So over here is code. We can see those all files that have been created. We can review them. We can change them. But the nicest option is we can go for the preview option. And for the preview option, we can see if that works, right? So let's say ask them to demo to do. And the first action is do live demo. And let me try here. The second one is try to put that on Google Cloud Run, right? And the third one, try to add it to custom domain. Why not, right? And that works. I can select something as done. I can remove something. It's great. One of the things that doesn't work is if I put something and press enter, it doesn't add it, right? So that's the functionality I'm missing. I don't want to click plus every single time. So what you can do over here is go back to the chat and say, it works nice, but when I hit enter, the item is not being added. I have to manually click plus sign. Can you fix that, right? So we can give the model question or the request to make it a bit better. Now, let's see if it will make it a bit better. By the way, I asked it to have a kind of Polish heritage or Polish, what was my prompt? The Polish countryside style. So it doesn't really work, right? I don't see anything related to Poland. So I guess I was a bit too vague, right? A bit too little details over here. But let's see if it updates. So it says it already updated the app. It changed only the file that it thought that it has to change. So let's test it. This is a new test. And yeah, that works. That works. And another one. All right. So that works. What we can do, the next thing you can do when you have an application, let me refresh it. First of all, over here, you can see how the application looks for the different devices, right? So for the mobile view, tablet view, and current view, right? But another thing you can do over here, you can go for this annotate app. You can even select something. So for example, select this one, right? And you can add the text over here. This should have darker font. It's too similar to background, right? Add this command. And you can even add this to chat. In the chat, it even gives you the prompt. Apply the edits shown in the screenshot. Press enter or send the prompt. And hopefully it should fix the application according to what you just asked it to do. So let's see if that will work. One of the files is being edited. So hopefully we should see the results quite soon. Let's give it another couple of seconds. Yeah, is it darker? Maybe it is darker. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. But it says it changed it to text gray 500. What's nice is actually you can go for the code, find the code, and change it yourself as well, right? So I think it says text gray 500. What happens if I change it to 900? I'm not sure that's how it works, but let's see. And go back. Let's save it and go back to the preview. Oh, the checkpoint is being done. So let's see if I break it. Yeah, and now it's a bit darker, I think. All right, awesome. So we could, iterate and ask it for more and more, but that's all nice and shiny, but it's a little bit boring. What you can do once you've got the application ready, you can go for publish, get started. select on which project you want to publish. Again, you can create a new one and or have an existing one. Let me go for Tomek experiments, the one that I already have. Click Publish App. Regarding your question regarding building iOS apps and Chrome extensions through this tool, kinda. I mean, not really, because it's a little bit limited. I will show you in a second. But now the apps are published. You can open that, and it's actually being on this URL. If I paste the URL for you guys, maybe 1 or 2 people, if you can check if the URL is working for you, but it should work because it's now deployed on the Cloud Run. So if anyone can confirm the application is working, and I will go back again to the build.
Yes, it is working.
Awesome. So Z, regarding your question, if you can build iOS apps and Chrome extensions. So right now we've got like this frameworks, React, Next.js, and Angular, right? So right now it's more of an JavaScript-related applications with the nice front ends, not really building iOS apps. But what you can do to give you something to work on, you can actually go for Playground, select over here, let's say Gemini, for instance, 3.1 Pro preview, and here chat about the application and ask it to work on that, right? It will not generate the full app as the one we just did, but you still have a lot of help to get you started with building the application. So that's not everything I wanted to show you. So let me go back to this application that I just built. It works nice, but the URL is kind of funky, right? It's kind of funky. But what I got on my project is kind of interesting. I want to show you. If I go here to Cloud Run, it's a little bit messy, right? But please don't mind the mess. What the Google AI Studio did was creating this container over here, awesome demo to do, right? And the other interesting thing I wanted to show you, I think I've got it in the domain mapping, doesn't matter. I've got another container called hello already deployed. And the hello container, if you go for the source code, is super simple. As you can see, that's the code, you see? And the thing is about the hello container that right now, the one is actually connected to my custom domain, pleasework.pl, and that's hello, hi, nice to meet you. So what we could potentially do for the sake of this demo, not attaching custom domain usually takes time because the DNS records have to update, etc., and the propagation of those DNSs are different. So it might work for me. It doesn't necessarily might work for you now, maybe in a couple of hours, etc. The nice trick that I wanted to show you, I already have this placeholder container that says only, oh, hi, nice to meet you, like the complete placeholder, right? What you can do to make this app under this placeholder, there is a nice trick. You can actually change the name over here because that's the name that the Google AI Studio is using to deploy the container. So let me change that to hello. It's a little bit nice, a little bit of not hack, but a little bit interesting trick you can do. And once the name is changed, if you click publish, get started, it will tell you that the app is already published. But you know what? Now I'm a little bit worried if that's a proper. Let me check, because now I'm a little bit worried if that's a proper project. I think it is. Let's see. If that works, great. If it doesn't, that's good as well. What you can do is go. Oh, you know what? Let me check this one. I don't remember. I don't remember where this map is. That's fine. That's fine. No worries. Don't mind me being confused. That's all part of the plan. Let me go for my load balancer. As you can see, at least you know that's a live demo. There is please, yeah, perfect. That will be perfect. All right. So you can see under please work PL, we've got the old application, but I can republish the app. Let's see what will happen. It should. Update the application, App is being published. It's published. If we click open, it's still the ugly name. But if I go for please work PL and please work, maybe let's refresh. Maybe that's only the problem. Yeah, we've got our new app, right? So I will paste you the link. Please work PL. You can also try it, see if that works. And you should have your app in your custom domain, right? And if at least one person can confirm that under please work, you can see this app. Anyone? Just give me a heads up or something that it works or thumbs up.
It is working.
It is working for me.
Yeah.
Working, right? Awesome. Yeah. So
yeah,
now you can continue. Now you can continue working. So for instance, you can see over here. Let's try to do something funky and something a bit more interesting. So we can say, if the task starts with generate image, take the rest of the entry as prompt and generate image with nano banana, the Gemini 2.5 image. I don't remember if that's preview or not. You know what? Let me double check that because I want to give him a good domain name. So AI Studio, the good model name. Let me quickly make sure I've got the good model name because I want to use this one which is free. 2.5 flash image. Yeah, flash image. So let's go back over here and say flash image and show the image created below the list. Let's see. That sounds a bit ambitious, right? But let's see. So this being executed, that might take a minute or so. An interesting thing that is being published, but I ran the dry run before the session and it didn't work perfectly. But an interesting thing I want to show you is I have a link somewhere or I completely lost it, but give me a second, I'll find it on second screen. It was Firebase of Google AI Studio. Yeah, over here. So interesting thing that is being I'm writing the chat that is being published or announced recently, I think, is this one. So the one I wrote in the chat is that you can actually have a cloud Firestore, which is, you know, database, and Firebase authentication right out of your Google AI Studio app. We will try that in a second. But first things first. So we've got here our updated tool. Let me, you know what? Let's do something more. I will not test it over here. I will publish that on the cloud in the same project we publish, and we're gonna do a live test on our kind of production side, right? That's a bit more thrilling, and it's Friday night or Friday evening. It's a perfect time to do the production change. So let's do that. App is being published. You know what? One thing that comes to my mind, I will go for the code and see if there is something for. I really don't know if it's gonna work. It's a mystery for me if that's gonna work. I'm really curious if that's gonna work. Let me refresh over here. So we can have a task buy a milk. That works, right? Buy second milk. Yes. I'm delaying the real demo. And the real demo is generate image. What image should I try to generate? A happy German Shepherd dog. Failed to generate image. Okay, so we tried to do something, but it failed miserably. I was thinking about that because it didn't ask about the API key. Let's try here. Generate image of a dog. Oh, generate image dog with umbrella. Let's see. Oh, it actually works over here. You see that works quite nice over here. It didn't work in the published app, and now I'm wondering why it didn't work in the published app. That's interesting. Let me think a little bit. Can you change this app to use Vertex AI with project ID Tomek experiments instead of Gemini API? Let's see if it will figure that out. No API key for Gemini 2.5/image. We will handle that by EM permissions on Cloud Run. Let's see if it will understand me. So my idea, what I'm trying to do right now is ask it to, because right now I'm pretty sure in the code it's actually trying to generate the code via Gemini API and probably I'll go here, Cloud Run. The service that we just created over here, I mean, I created over here, obviously. This hello doesn't really have the API key injected to that image. But let's see if it can do the changes I ask it to do. So it says it does. Oh, there's one error. Okay, stop. That's fine. Let's view changes first. So show me what it did. Google Gen AI. I really don't know if it's gonna work like that. Let's think about it for a second. But you know what? I see that it actually wants to have this, right? Gemini API key. So to make it work, let me just put the Gemini API key over here. So over here in hello, I can go for revision. We've got the latest revision, right? We can edit and deploy new revision. I will keep everything as is. Hopefully it will work. Let's see. But the only thing I'm going to do is there's even Gemini API key, right? I just have to provide here the value. So the sublet ID is something else, but Gemini key, I need to provide here the value. It would be better to do it as a secret, so it's not open text, but because we are running out of time, I will just provide the value of the secret, but to have at least a glimpse of security, I will move it to my other screen, okay? Just for a second. So bear with me. I will provide the API key, and we will see if I can actually solve it, because it's getting a little bit ambitious of me to, hey, I have to solve that, because, yeah, I just have to. So let me copy the key. Let me go back over here. Let me redeploy that. It is being deployed back, going back so you guys can see. It should be okay. So let's test it again. Fingers crossed. Generate image, and what we want to generate, a happy dog looking at the laptop screen. Okay, it's thinking a bit longer, which is a good sign. Hey, we got it. So the app is working. So the one thing I want to ask you is actually navigate to please work PL and try to put the prompt of generate image dot whatever, right? And if at least one person can verify if that works. Just do not generate like 100 images, so I will not go bankrupt. But if you generate a couple, it should be fine. And before that, I can do, you know, another task and stuff, right? So it's still kind of funny application because it's like the to-do app mixed with the image generation. It doesn't make any sense completely, but it's Friday evening, so you know, my mind or my brain is a little bit, you know, tired after the whole week. But hopefully, hopefully that was at least partially interesting to you. So what I want you to also check out is actually this thing. I don't want to go into that right now, but because it's getting a bit late. But why it doesn't open? What do I have here? Oh, I've got the wrong domain. Sorry. This one, yeah. Firebase out. So definitely check out this article. It's also awesome. Super that it's working. It's also in the chat to take the next step and see how you can add the Cloud Firestore and Cloud Firebase out to your application as well, so you can actually log in and give like that memory, right? Because right now this application is working, this please work, but the truth is that everything that you put is only in memory. So if I refresh that, suddenly I'm losing my to-do list, right? Which is nice because if you've got too many things to do, just refresh the page and suddenly you're done. You don't have anything more to do. But probably not something you actually want to have, right? So yeah, without further ado, I think we've got like 10 minutes. Let me finish talking for a second, and I will shut up and see if there are any questions. Thank you. All right, guys, I don't hear any questions. If you do have any questions, just, you know, interrupt me. But in the meantime, I will revert the application, okay? Because I don't want to leave it as unauthenticated with options to generate images, etc., etc. So I will actually, that's the wrong project, this one. I will actually go for this application and for revisions and go back to first revision and manage traffic to the first revision. The oldest one save. And once this is done, once this is done, if we go for my please work PL now, we go to this boring you know, version again. So yeah, safe and sound, hopefully, at least partially, at least partially safe and sound. All right, so thank you for your presence today. We still have a couple of minutes, so I will stay a few minutes more. If you've got any questions, just ask me. And yeah, just have fun playing with that, because it is a lot of fun to playing with that. Make sure you understand the code before you actually put that for the, you know, production use case, right?
Before we wrap up, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask now.
Connect with the database to it, like Firebase or something.
I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I heard you very, very badly. Do you mind if you paste the question here in the chat, and then I'll try to...
Like using AI, we can create the mostly the front end part. But what about the back end part, the history, in which we create a to-do list. But
Yes.
after some time, when we refresh the page, the to-do list.
Yeah. So I think I got the
After that,
question. So
yeah.
so
After
that's
that,
it. That's
to-do list like display or something. So how to
yeah.
create a
So
copy.
So take it as a follow-up action study this article with how to connect your Firestore, because that will be the database, for instance, for the To-Do app with the Google Air Studio. And I think it's the best way to learn by doing. So actually you can run it and try to execute it this way. So Google Air Studio has and will have a nice nice integration with Firestore. If there is no integration, you can, go ahead for your application, source code, and just add it manually, right? But there is a nice integration over there. Does it answer your question, more or less? Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, so guys, if there are no more questions, again, super thank you for staying long or late, so much late on Friday evening. Thank you for joining me today, and just any gap area between AI or ML for research work. I'm sorry, it's actually not the topic of my talk today, right? I'm not prepared to address that question. All right, super. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.